I thought this was supposed to be the easiest bye round. Well, if you ask me, it was. I'm up and about, but I know there's some coaches in need of a good therapy session, and that's what we're here for. It's time for the weekend wash-up.
He's coming off. Get him back off. Get him off. Come on. Rocket. We can't hear.
Disgusting football. Disgusting football.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's here, baby. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Yes, that's right. It's that time of week. Well, not quite. It's a Monday night, but we're back again. I am your host, Matt, and joining me once again is David. Mate, how was your holiday?
It was very nice, thank you. Yeah, nice and relaxing. Caught a few games of footy, but yeah, it's good to be back. And, yeah, good to be back chatting a bit of fantasy with you, mate.
Yeah. So look, we missed you last week in the big old studio. It's back to the
That was disappointing to miss out on.
back room. You did miss it. Yeah, it was.
That looked pretty epic. And
it was luxurious.
Yeah.
And I tell you, we won't be going back anytime soon. We're a bit of growing to do.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
No, it was good.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
good
good
to have you back. How'd you go last week?
I went okay, not great to be honest. I'm dropping. I didn't drop a heap of ranks last week, and it's the same this week. So, yeah, we were just discussing it before. I'm sort of teetering on the edge.
Yeah, teeter. Oh, yeah, just pattering, bit of pattering along.
Yeah,
like
I'm not having stinkers, but I'm not having good ones.
Yeah. And look, the washing machine just for now is out of use.
Yeah,
and
I would have been on last week.
Lucky
and
for
I would
you
have been
because
on
you
today.
might have had a couple in a row. All right, so look, let's get into the scores and the ranks. And, well, I can't wait to get into this because I cracked the 2,000 mark.
Yeah, that's massive.
Which, to be fair, I think going into this round, it was meant to be the easiest bye round, like round 13. I think coaches would have been aiming big this week.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have a lot of good players, I will say, on this bye round, looking at your NWM, your Steele, like Brayshaw.
Yes.
That a lot of people were missing. So this was...
Sarong.
Yeah. So, look, I said last week I should have gone big, and once again this week I should have gone big, but I did. Yep, 2002.
No, that's massive.
Which took me to an overall of 3.5k, which it's a real fucking yo-yo this because, I went back and had a look at it, and in round 8, I was ranked 340th for the round and was ranked 2k. I came in from like 6k to 2k.
Sitting in a solid spot.
At that point, I was like, right, we're on here still. Then I went 39k, 28k, 29k, through the Cozzy, through the Briggs. It was just a disaster. Blew out to 9k. And at that point, it's right. Well, it's season in the... I'm going to be 20k in a couple of weeks. Well, since then, I've gone top 2k and then 240th to take me back roughly where I started.
Yeah, wow.
Now, being realistic... How far can I climb here? I think I could. I think my team is actually looking decent. I made a couple decent value pickups, which I needed desperately.
Yeah, which we'll get into.
So look, the top 1k is definitely, that's within sight. But I think anything more than that's a bit of a pipe dream. So, but hey, it's good to have a few good weeks in a row.
No, absolutely. No, that's a great score. Very well done. Yeah, much better than me. I went 1843.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks to little Nick Dacos captaincy at the end there. So,
and look,
it's only 30 points, really.
I'll put my hand up. It was pretty. You weren't going to do it, and I pretty much bullied you.
You didn't bully me into it.
Captaining Nick Dacos.
Look, I wanted to do it. Let's be honest here, but you just need that message to if you just said no, I would have
push you over the edge.
Yeah, so
you've got to feel something. You can't be taking a 111 captain.
So that leaves me 1,173 overall, or might have changed a bit.
So did that go up or did you go up or down? Because that would have been pretty close to par.
Down by about 100 spots.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
So for the round, I was 14,500.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So we're saying like 1870-ish was probably roughly.
Yeah. I think if I had gone cherry skip, I probably would have been...
You probably would have been on the money.
Around the money, so... just had some not so good players.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that. So grade my trade, and for the third week in a row, we've gone bang. This was my best work yet. Yeah. I went Ryan Marich, who was now on the wing, obviously had to go.
He did.
He went to Doc,
wow.
Talk about hitting a 6.
Yeah.
The Doc back at half back. And I've got to shout out to Drew Jones, the GOAT Fantasy, because that tweet, I didn't realise that, I knew Doc had gone back to the VFL, and I
Yeah.
saw he came back and went 100.
Yeah.
So, and that he had gone back to the VFL to work on that half-back role, which
Okay.
the bloke played it for 10 years.
Why
and
does he
was
need to
probably
work on it, really?
Well, that was what they said. That was why Vossi and I think Doc went to Voss and said, mate, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm a half-backer. Play me, or I'm a... Was he in All Oz? I don't know.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
was, he should have been. So then he went back to the VFL, obviously was playing that role, came back. He's gone back-to-back 112s. That was massive.
That's
so
crazy.
he's a big target this week. Then Matty Roberts, who...
Yeah. Was
that
unwell.
That was a bit of a shocker, to be honest. So
Yeah, I
Bicey
heard.
survived, but that actually kind of worked out for Bicey in the end because he took Roberts' role. And let me tell you, Roberts would have gone massive in that game.
Yeah.
The amount of chippy, oh my goodness me. So that was unfortunate. But he went to the Bergman.
And looked a bit shaky to start.
Like tagging Toby Green, going to fullback.
Softly lucky that...
That was not what I wanted, but also he still had some. So I did have a look at that. And he was still scoring okay.
Yeah. He was basically just following Toby, and
But
who does go in the middle for them sometimes.
yes.
But
So
then-
look, I was slightly concerned in that first half, but when Toby went down and they kind of unleashed him in the middle, unreal.
Yeah, Bergman, yeah.
So
second
he was
half,
full-time mid in that last quarter I
Yeah,
saw, and
and
Port
they
had a
won.
great win. So
That's good.
he's too good for them to be.
That's those two trades, like they're like mid-price. Yeah.
Oh,
they're
it's
real good.
if I was in the top 100, I would be a lot more scared about making moves
Right.
like that. I think I'm more confident on Doc. Bergman's a bit of a week-to-week proposition for me still.
Well,
I
he's
think.
obviously their Mr. Fix-It kind of thing.
Yes,
He'll go.
which is the concern.
Yeah, he might be set free, but he also might go with like.
But, they're the kind of picks that can go either way. Like, I've seen it with Cozzy and Briggs. It can go horribly wrong. But this week, Doc and Bergman, it went right. And then I went Marshall to X. So, can I be a little bit disappointed with 111
Yeah,
from
you
X?
can.
Like that.
No,
it
mate.
wasn't great, but
Yeah. Anyway.
we'll speak about X for sure. But 327 points in, so that had to be an A+.
Yeah, well done. Very well done. Then you compare it to these. I went Roberts, Oliver, and Stone out.
Yeah.
Obviously still had Oliver, and after that 60 last week,
Maybe-
I thought it was time to go.
Yeah, that was fair.
So I brought in Rosie, and then I also brought in Kai Lohman and Riley Hardiman.
Oh.
Yeah, so, not great. Was looking for a little bit of cash gen, and
Which
little
is
did
fair.
I realise I probably should have gone in different areas in those mid-prices. So, Hardiman's just insane when you look back at it. But I've gone and picked up a 490k rookie who's averaging like 40, really, if you take out that 100. So, it is an absolute disaster.
I thought he was better than that. I thought he was, say, 50 to 60.
I think he might be like we were saying you can't have six blokes chasing the footy around,
and
Eagles,
especially when they when they threw Colby back there as well.
Eagles were pushing up. North didn't switch at once. I think when they played Collingwood, a lot of his scoring sort of came on a switch. So fingers crossed he keeps his spot. I don't know. They won.
No, and like you said it. Someone has to defend.
Yeah.
Right, you got your Colby, Caleb Daniel just racking it up back there. Someone's got to defend. I think he's been good.
Yeah.
But the Eagles did press really high, so there was no chance of switching.
It was
so
a
he was
stupid.
never going to touch
Let's
it.
be honest. It was a stupid move. I should have gone I probably should have gone the Essendon Johnson or something like that. But he's coming off a 30. So
Yeah, no, it was fair to wait a week on him.
Yeah.
I think it's that kind of thing where when you're at the top, like you want to feel safer and just chasing like that. I mean, Rosé went 120.
Yeah.
So like there was a reason you were wanting to get him instead of messing around with your Dohertys and Bergmans and even like Walsh. But given that they all went well, then you go,
well,
Yeah,
hindsight's a beautiful
like
thing.
obviously instead of Hardiman and Rosé, you could have done the Doc Bergman.
We just need Hardiman to basically keep his spot for the next.
See, I
3
think,
weeks.
and I think he will, and he can give you 60. I think.
Yeah, which is now
Which will tick something over.
It'll tick something over after a 30. It's just not ideal at all.
No, it's
but,
not.
I did see one content creator say, he has to average 75 or more or something. But I think that content creator brought in Henry Huswaite, so good on him.
Firing off shots.
Yeah. Anyway, that's probably a flat out D or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. Anyway, winner of the week,
Spice
mate.
it up with the winner of the week, and oh my goodness me, it feels good to say Max Holmes.
Yeah. Wow.
146 points.
That's incredible.
And let me tell you, he's come under some unwarranted heat, in my opinion.
He has.
But way to stand up and be counted for, Homer, because Bailey Smith was a laid out, and it was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, it was.
But no, Holmes took full advantage with 40 of the best, including 25 kicks, 861 metres gained. And
Wow.
look, one look at his heat map will tell you all you need to know. He was everywhere. Like, genuinely, the whole field is just red hot. It's unbelievable. So he had 84% time on ground and 89% CBAs.
Oh,
which
my goodness.
is what I thought was the most impressive thing. Because he'd
Yeah.
been hovering, around the 60%
Yeah.
CBAs. That with Baz out, he was in there full time and he had 40. So, well, fuck me. Keep him in there, Scotty. So, look, just how good was it to see him come back on with a minute to go and chase that 40th disposal?
Yeah.
Because for those that weren't watching, he was on 39 on the bench, would have been done, got back on, got that extra touch, actually got a tackle.
Yeah.
He's now got a last 5 of 115, last 3 of 124. He's $1 million. My boy is back, and he's a must-have.
He is absolutely a must-have. And Geelong actually play... There's one team they play twice for the rest of the season. Do you want to guess who that is?
Play twice. Geelong. Who haven't they played? Have they played Richmond?
They played Richmond twice. So round 17 and that final round 24.
I mean, but this is the
that
thing
could be dangerous. They might rest him, but...
Nah. But the thing about this is the thing with the buys, is with that round 16 buy, can you go chasing it now? I don't think you can.
Yeah, if you don't have him. Yeah.
And then he's coming out the buy 1.1.
Mate, honestly, round 17, you're going to want him. So if you don't have
You
him.
beauty.
But yeah, that's a great
Well
win of
done.
the week. Obviously, yeah, I can't pick him, but I'm going to have to pick someone instead, and it's Josh Samwise Gamgee Dacos with 128 points.
Was unbelievable today.
Yeah, and the reason we're calling him Samwise Gamgee is obviously his brother Nick was out there just having a stinker as my skipper.
Ooh.
But Josh was on 81 at halftime, and he just said, "Come with me, boys."
He fucking carried him
He carried him up
Mount Doom.
yeah. Up
It was
the order.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was as good as it gets. I did say he needed 115 or more for him to
did.
stay in the side, and he produced. So, and I can see he got the medal as well. So well done to
Yeah,
him.
well deserved. I thought he was on track for 40 at one point. I
Yeah.
mean, and you said that he likes Melbourne.
He did have 130 on them twice last season.
There you go.
So I don't know why I didn't captain him. Really, I captained the wrong
could've
brother.
been,
But
yeah.
No,
It's okay.
considering he was off. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
he was off for 12 minutes at the start. You
every
said
single bench player.
At this point, David's going into full melt mode. He's realising that Ed Langdon is deciding to fucking ruin Nick's life. Like, he had no care in the world. When Nick's tying his shoelace and Ed's fucking...
that was insane.
It was borderline sexual assault, I want to say, the way he went about it. It was a fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
But, no, and...
Not sure how it's
and then you
sexual
go,
assault, but okay.
Oh, did you see how close he was getting?
Yeah,
to him?
that's true,
Mate,
that's true.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But and then you go, and then I go to see where's his brother.
Yeah.
Halfway through the first, and he's on 0 on the
And I look,
pine.
his brother's going, "Fuck, get me on."
But then he came on and had 6 within about a minute. And
Yeah.
you went, okay.
Oh, yeah, we're all good.
All right,
So-
no, he's away.
Yeah,
No, he
but
was
yeah,
very
he's
good.
definitely my winner of the week because that final game I really needed it. I was sitting around the 2K mark, I think, and he brought me back. So
that was
absolutely
massive.
Awesome
And I saw,
stuff.
yeah, and he's doing well for you now. He's got a last 3 of 110.
Yeah,
so.
he's got to stay.
Yep, definitely.
All right, loser of the week. Here we go.
Loser of the week. Here we go. I tell you, the only good thing this week is that I'm forced to trade this bloke,
Go on.
James Peatling.
Oh yes.
Absolute dog of a thing.
Yeah. No, that's exactly
Fucking
right.
hell. One of my worst ever.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that is saying something.
That actually is
Now,
saying something.
realistically, in terms of moves this year, he doesn't beat Briggsy.
No, he doesn't.
No. But Cozzy was on me for trading Coz, so he's worse than Cozzy for sure. 67.
For what you could have got instead as well when we picked him up.
Grind
Brian
Myers
Myers was right there.
Messi was staring me in the face. And I said, no,
No.
give me a bit of James Peatling action. Fucking hell.
Is he even going to get back in the side when he's
He
fucking done?
shouldn't. Mate, I don't know. He had an easy +4 at the start of this game, and instead he tries to fucking throw Lockie Neal under the Adelaide Oval instead. He tried to bury him.
That's his second offence this year for a dangerous tackle.
Like, you don't see that anymore because all the players were straight into remonstrate. It was literally I've got you, Lockie Neal's given up. Fucking bang.
I don't understand those tackles anymore. Like,
It's,
that's
you
just
know
so
you're going to
dumb.
get done.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
there's the ones where like it's in emotion and like it's.
there's like who was it? Paul Curtis. Like there's
Yeah.
ones like that. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But that one was just. I'm going to make a statement here.
Make a statement.
And
yeah.
Take Neil out of this game. Do you reckon he got the word
maybe
from the
that's
coach?
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, he just has to go, and he has been shit house.
Yeah. See you later.
No good.
Mine is from the same game, and I tell you what, I hope this bloke hasn't quit his music career because Isaac Rankin was 68 of the fucking worst. It's at a point now where there's major concerns for Isaac. Last 3 of 73, last 5 of 77. What did he have? 18 disposals.
That was some of your best.
Didn't kick a goal.
He has been so shit.
Mate, he's actually going to go back to his fucking...
Warney was fucking onto this before I was with his hard watch because he was one of my favourite watches at the start of the year.
Yeah,
but the last 3 weeks have been at fucking disgrace. His music is really good though, so I'm starting to think it might be better than his footy.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what was the CBA mix. We should probably check that.
I had a look. It was 50%. It's not what it was at the start of the year.
So, but still, he's 50%.
Yeah, it's not good enough for 68.
And
Absolutely
last week he had 63 and they won by 90.
It wasn't the conditions for a forward.
Last week or this week?
This week.
Yeah.
Like, it was a shocking day.
Yeah.
Like, it was a day to be on ball. But, it's not remotely good enough.
If we put aside emotion now.
Yeah.
And think logically, obviously he stays this week.
Yeah, but...
On his bye.
Gone.
Who do you trade him to?
Anyone.
Yeah.
Now, you do a rookie move or something and you find a way to get him to... Because you look at what he's scoring, right? I think he's got a last 5 somewhere in the 70s. And you've got blokes like Kennedy going 110 plus. Myers, yeah. He's a walk-up 100.
But that's... Oh, my God, Myers coming off his bye.
So you're going to have to get him off his bye.
We're talking about Max Holmes.
I know.
Laughing. Myers...
Because him against the Eagles, he just racked up. Yeah. But you can't have Isaac Rankin doing that.
They don't have the Eagles.
So, look, if Rankin goes 110 next week, he might get a reprieve. But, like you said with Dacos this week, you were like 115 or he goes. Well, Rankin's I want to see you in the middle, go 110 against the Hawk, or you're done.
Yeah, I think so.
100 and he's gone.
Because if just a flat ton and he's gone?
Yeah, not good enough.
When are they playing? We need the eye test for that game, I reckon. Oh, it's Friday night. Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, well, gee, could ruin our Friday. But
yeah.
All right, let's get into the games. And we'll start with the Doggies and the Hawks. And Timmy English.
Yeah.
139.
Yes.
9 tackles, last 5 of 115. And to be fair, like you've got Munter just dominating, Cherry dominating, Marshall, you had that 160, and then you've got English doing this, so the rucks are back for sure.
English is good, mate. He is so good.
Well, look, he's had his bye. Now, it would be pretty crazy to go Gorn out, but I don't know.
Mate, you can't go Gorn out with the way he's going.
But Timmy's going just as well almost.
So what, you could make a bit of money there is what that was saying?
Yeah. I don't know. No. Don't do that. But Tim English has been brilliant.
Is Gorn on his bye this week?
No,
next week.
Has Gorn had his... No, it's next week.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Matt Kennedy. We've seriously got to talk about this bloke. 132. Like, I think we've kind of glossed over, Kennedy's gone like 110 again. Oh, he's gone 110 again. Well, now it's getting like beyond... It's getting beyond a joke at this point.
Yeah.
29 disposals, 6 marks, 8 tackles. Second most CBAs with Treloar back. Still in there, and he's got a last 5 of 116.
Yeah.
He hasn't dropped under 110. He's a VC option. Shout out to Matt Ferg.
Yeah.
About the only bloke in Oz that actually has him and VC'd him, and it's fucking genius. Nah, he's... Yeah.
So he's one of those...
way too good.
He's one of those blokes now, right, where the ego gets in the way of picking him up. He's up 275K on the year.
Yeah.
1.066 mil.
See now, but now you're paying. He's a 110. Now you're paying with the likes of like Rozzy, who are like lock 110s.
Yeah.
Could he do what, say, George Hewitt did, and just have a few
couple of
weeks
sinkers.
where he, yeah.
They play the Saints, Tigers, Swans, and North.
No, he's not stopping. There's no way they're taking him out of the midfield.
Yeah, he could go ballistic. I mean, I don't know what we're calling what he's been doing now. But...
yeah. I think this is the thing. If you nailed your rookies somehow and had cash on your bench, you would be getting Kennedy.
Yeah.
But
you can't
in the position that we are,
Yeah, I
where
don't
we've
think
got
we
nothing
can.
on our bench. No, absolutely I can't. I'm shopping in, Cooper Lord territory. Fast forwarding to
I'm
my
getting Isaac-
trades.
I'm
but
getting Isaac
That's where I'm
Keeler.
at. That's where I'm at. No, Matt Kennedy, you got to try get him. He's going to be a top 6 forward. He's a gun.
yeah.
Meekie 120. The freak is back.
Uh,
Dale 112. That's a great bounce back from that 60.
No, so
and
he's
I
looking
tell
good.
you, he loves being under the roof.
Yeah.
It's just
Safe.
he's probably averaging 120 under the roof at this point.
Mate, he's...
And that's where they play. That's for the rest of the season.
And as we just mentioned, their next 4, he could go nuts.
I mean, against Richmond, that's a Dale 160 right there. Scary stuff.
Scary
so he's
times.
an upgrade target for sure off his buy. Newcomb 108, lucky to get this score, to be honest. He feels with no more confidence than I had before, and he's gone next week regardless. Dillmore 106, that's better.
Dillmore, yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
It is.
Uh,
It's hard with Dill because he's got
the bye next
so
week.
you wouldn't get him.
So, but if he tons again,
yeah,
then that's
true.
a round 16 option for
Yeah.
sure. But
so frustrating.
We get to see him one more time.
Peatling's gone and got himself suspended. Like,
Yeah.
if Moore had already had his bye, you'd probably almost be getting him.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't mind seeing one more because he's been really poor.
Yeah.
Ed Richards 97. Now we've got to talk about I think the whole Dogs mix in general here because is Treloar a concern?
He is, but I don't think he really went in too much until a bit later in the game. Obviously, it was kind of done for him.
Is that a concern that they just got beaten up and then Bevo threw the Treloar magnet in?
yeah.
So because I saw Ed had 63% CBAs, which is still fine, but it's a far cry from the 80% he'd pretty much been having before. And we may as well talk about them all now. So Bont this week, he scored 91, not been great. He had 75% this week, but he's only had 60% average this season compared to 70% last year.
Yeah.
And in that year when he averaged 117, he was at 80%.
Yeah, okay.
And he averaged an extra 2.5 tackles. So that's the difference with like 60 to 80% is massive.
Yeah.
And you've got, so Libba this week, right, had 63 from 40% CBAs, played forward and didn't touch it.
He played a bit of back or something,
And,
someone was saying.
and they got smashed. There's no way that Libba isn't going back in next week. I'm sorry, there's no way they're not playing Libba
You
in
reckon?
there. Yeah.
I don't know. He's a
nah.
pretty stubborn bloke, his old Bevo.
Nah, Libba's gone, but they got smashed. I think Libba goes straight back in. So I just don't know what happens with just Treloar being back. He scored 60, had 8 centre bounces. Like, you don't care about him. I just don't know where they're going to go with this.
Yeah.
And they're going to have some good wins where they all score well. No doubt.
I reckon they probably win their next 4.
Yeah, and you said the fixtures are great, so that should be fine. But if we're running like a 5 to 6 man rotation, it just puts a ceiling on them.
Yeah, true.
It's a concern. Josh Ward went 97. He's gone back-to-back 70% CBAs, averaging 27 disposals in those 2 games. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So he's got his bye next week, and then of course Will Day. I don't actually know if he's not back coming off their bye, then you could look at him.
Have a look.
For sure. It's interesting. Guinea. Speaking of interesting,
Yeah.
23 and 2. He's the new Cheeksy.
Yeah.
96. He's knocking up 90s for fun.
He's doing well. He's been a great little draft get.
It's been a great draft get. And if you manage to gamble on it in fantasy, that was also genius.
I mean, if people have done that, it's wild. But yeah, fair play.
Well, we've made worse picks.
Oh, yes, we have.
Yeah.
No, he's been good. I mean, how is him holding the ball? That's pretty wild. But
Yeah.
good on him.
Yeah. And just lastly, right, and I had a look into this today, Sam Butler.
Yeah.
So obviously great story, coming back from the broken leg.
Yeah, 400 days or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, over a year, and took the piss in the VFL in the lead up to this. So as a midfielder, I was averaging like 35 touches,
Okay.
like ridiculous amount of tackle. So he is he was playing AFL, before this happened. Like he is obviously he's a gun if you're going into the VFL on the back of a broken leg, having 40 every week.
Yeah.
Right? And he was playing midfield. He had 33% centre bounces here. So he was running through the midfield. Sam Mitchell loved his game. I think all the fans loved his game. I think the job security is going to be pretty good. And he's a forward rookie. Now, he's slightly expensive. He's in your kind of Kai Lohman price territory. And he's got a bye next week, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But if you're okay, I was looking because I'm okay around 15.
Yeah. Maybe you
that
shop
or
there.
you give it one
Mate,
one more week.
It's one more week and then there's
around
a bye.
16 target. So I think he's around 16 target, but he definitely has to be flagged because he was good.
Yeah, good on him.
Very good. Now, did you catch the Adelaide Brisbane game?
Yes, I did. Yeah. We can go straight into it.
Yeah,
Ashcroft.
take us through it.
I tell you, this is yeah, you're right. Disappointing second half.
Just
Obviously 113 from Will Ashcroft. But,
are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, sorry, jeez.
Brilliant brilliant first
brilliant
half.
first half. Hey, yeah.
But I think we are allowed to say it because I'm sorry, when you're on 80 at half time,
Yeah.
especially he's a bloke that's just going mid-90s, we want better.
Yeah, we do. But no, look, 113, you can't... If
I
I said,
would
would
put
you
you
take
ahead.
113 from Will Ashcroft, you'd snap it off. So,
No, I would have.
Yeah, that was awesome performance.
Does he go next or in the next 2 weeks for sure?
He will go for me, either on round 16 or before it, just purely from a perspective of I have a lot of guys.
And I'm very similar.
Yeah.
Let's say he had kicked on with that and gone 130, 140, or he goes massive next week. Then what are you doing?
Then I'm
Pivoting.
pivoting.
Yeah. So it was good to see that he's got it in the bag.
The fact that he has an 80-point, is it 80-point first half? Says a lot. So yeah. Next bloke, Dawson, 109. I tell you, he just finds a way.
It's unreal. It's annoying as a non-owner, but you have to respect it.
Yeah, obviously, Dunkley was with him all game, and he only had 18 disposals, but 11 tackles and 4 marks, and just a cheeky goal there as well. But,
and it was a massive, that was a massive clunk and goal in the context of that game.
Yeah, I mean, that game...
He's a very good player.
I mean, this whole round was a very low-scoring kind of...
It was
grubby.
It was that was a hot game though.
This was a good game.
That was a good game.
Good game.
There's you've got an Adelaide Brisbane 60-60 and a North Eagles 60-60. Very much so.
Yeah, Saligo, obviously 108 with 13 tackles. A few people might have him, I reckon.
He had 80% centre bounces, which I found interesting.
So he's
I don't know.
So he's 785k. He did have a great start to the season, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here, though. McCluggage, 98, 25 kicks, 2 handballs, 2 tackles. Not
weird looking game.
Yeah.
When you see that stat line.
Yeah. It is
Great kick to handball ratio. And look, we have to mention him every week because the bloke's averaging almost 105.
He is. So you can't. Yeah.
You take
you can't
that.
be too upset with that, I suppose.
No,
but
you
when
take
you see
that.
a guy have 25 kicks and end up with only 98, I guess you're a bit upset.
That's true. No, that's
Laird seems to score 95 every week.
Mate, if he had kick-ins, I tell ya,
he'd be one of the
he'd
greats.
be a lot.
Yeah, Zorko, 87. Yeah, Keezer was a little bit sort of running with him. I mean, but Keezer,
he's a fucking good player.
Yeah. That was awesome from Keezer in the last quarter. But yeah, 37-point last quarter for Zorko. Seems to always save it at the end.
It's just when you think, he comes to 60, we'll get him cheap.
Yeah,
saves it.
No. But he will start dropping in price, I would have thought, with that 87.
Yeah, he's very good.
Speaking of dropping in price.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Yeah, Josh Dunkley.
81. We've slowly flagged this a few weeks ago, and every week it's gradually getting shitter.
Yeah, it's been...
How the fuck is that possible?
Yeah, it's been poor. Yeah, so no tons 4 weeks in a row, and then last 5 of 92, and the last 3 of 85.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go.
That is... I mean, that's worse than Will Ashcroft.
So are we... people that have Dunkley, what are they doing?
I don't think I could go early in round 14 or 15 just because you know that if you do that,
he's going
to drop a 140 on your head. I don't know who they play, but yeah, I'm in trouble round 16. I'm sure a lot of people are. Giants and Cats.
Mate, he's 968 with a break even of 130. If he drops another 80,
He actually could be like 900k by the time his buy rolls around.
Could be less.
That has been a shocker.
Could be less. Oh, no, yeah.
That's not
No,
even...
he could be less. If
Wow.
he dropped a couple 80s again,
Fucking hell.
that would be a disaster.
Maybe you do get off.
Nah, you got to hold, right?
I'd consider it.
Team dependent.
Yeah. We're speaking from a non-owner's perspective. If
Yeah.
you owned him, you'd fucking hate his face.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
feel
but
free to get rid of him.
you hated Newcomb's face and you held and got away
Yeah,
with
got
it.
lucky. Yeah,
It's
true.
Josh
You might
Dunkley.
get lucky.
I reckon you hold.
Okay.
Lockie Neal, 71. Yeah. Yeah. Average of 91 and just as likely to go 70. So, yeah.
It feels like, he'll show up with that 100, 110, but just there's a 70 around the corner
Yeah.
every week.
No, there is.
Not good enough.
He's lost it, hasn't he? Rankin, 68. Yeah, as we said.
Disgrace.
What else are we meant to say? Nothing.
No. So, one thing to flag out of the Peatling suspension
Holy shit.
is the midfield mix next week. Could we see Isaac back to his 60, 70% CBAs? Because someone's got to take him.
Going into their buy as well, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah.
Peatling, 67, obviously.
Disgrace.
And suspended. See you later, mate.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Levi Ashcroft, 63. So he probably, if you can, probably goes.
Yeah. I totally forgot I had him this week when I was looking at my trades. I thought, nah, I've got to prepare for round 16. He's probably got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go.
Because he's bleeding cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been great.
Yeah, awesome. Sam Berry, 60. So Ducks put here expensive rookie.
Expensive rookie. But again, could he benefit with Peatling out?
He probably will benefit. Yeah.
So if he gets picked again, yeah.
If he gets picked again.
I don't know.
Kai Noman,
Yeah.
51. So, yeah, he just runs around like a bit of a headless chook at sometimes. So,
Yeah. It just feels like his ankle's going to go at any moment.
he's not moving well.
No, it doesn't.
Compared to
No, that's
you look
true.
at how he went in the grand final.
No,
like, he was,
he's
up and
not
about.
moving like
And
Cobra Kai. This is not Cobra
He
Kai.
looks kind of unfit and, yeah.
This is no man.
I'm kind of regretting
This is Kai No Man.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully he keeps his spot till round 16 and, makes some money.
Yeah.
Ty Gallop on debut, 38 and got subbed. So, he's a pretty big boy. So I don't think he was ever someone that you wanted.
Yeah. I saw people did it.
That hurts.
Yeah.
At least he scored more than Harden.
Yep, that's true. And he went up in cash.
Yeah.
All right, Richmond and Sydney. Oh, and this is where the eyesores really fucking started.
Yeah.
Like, we speak of chopsticks in the eyes.
Oh, this was a shocker.
This was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the worst game of the weekend, which is just fucked up.
Yeah.
But Brody Pig Grundy. And I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm so glad George's not here to brag about this. He had a 100-point second half. And since that week, he has gone a last 5 of 125. So he was 850k, and he's gone 125 in his last 5. I think he's probably the form ruck of the comp.
Yeah.
He fucking beat the shit out of Nag.
So TDK was out in round 10 was our
it
trades.
It was around the time when... And so the concern
Grundy-
was that he was going Gorn Rob, the 2 red fixtures. Well, he fucking destroyed them
Yeah.
and has just continued on his merry way. He's almost 1.1 million now.
Yeah.
That would have been genius.
And then you trade.
And then you probably... Well, I mean...
Probably
be pretty...
not.
Yeah, maybe not.
You could go... Wait, is he more than English?
Similar.
Probably same.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something you consider. But, mate, he's been awesome. So... Good on anyone that backed in the ruck pig. Maybe there's a bit of life there. Nick Blakey, 133. Speaking of taking advantage, I should say, of Roberts being out.
Yep.
He had 80% of the kick-ins. So he had 8 of the 10 kick-ins. Just had full control over them. Had 31 kicks, I think. And Richmond is just there. It's like the Saints last year.
It's bright green.
It is when you've got, like, they just let you chip it about, and it is shit to watch because Sydney they weren't great, and they were just chipping it about while they were up 60-20.
Yeah.
It was just fucking bizarre stuff. But hey, if you own Nick Blakey, You would have loved it. Millsy as well. He got involved in it. 110. He was at halfback. So he had the other 2 kick-ins.
Yeah.
Easiest matchup you can get. It'll be interesting to see if he goes into the middle after the bye, if they want him to be at halfback.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got to be a must-have. Or close to.
He's 763k, obviously, bye this week. But
Yeah.
coming off the bye, you almost...
I don't know how you don't do it.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Unless unless you're the guy that can afford to get Matt Kennedy and you just got a good team.
Mills would be the perfect bloke to get a rookie off the field there.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to be a massive target next week. Heaney 102. This was respectable. Honestly, should have been bigger. He had the fucking dinner plates out in the forward 50. I reckon 3 marks just on the out in front,
really?
on the tit, leading out,
There's
and
nothing
just
worse.
spilled 3 of them.
Yeah, nothing worse.
I don't know how many he converts. Maybe he converts one, but it's probably 20 points gone begging there. So, look, it's still good. He's been okay for his price for me.
Yeah.
And he's going to stay this week just because.
Is he?
Well,
Oh yeah, you kind of got to fix
I'm
some stuff up.
I'm making that choice where Levi's going to go
Yep.
to prep for round 16,
No,
and of
it's
course
smart.
Peatling,
It's smart.
as we said, is just an idiot. Riley Bice 93. So this was a lucky score. If you move Bice on like you should have
Yeah.
beforehand, he was probably not going to get picked before Roberts went out.
No.
But as soon as Roberts went out, I was trading him, and I said,
Yeah.
right, well, we'll just trade Roberts instead and
Yep.
hope that Bicey goes well, and he did.
Well
I
done.
wouldn't take anything from this, and if you've still got him like I do, he goes this week.
Okay.
Because I think Roberts comes back and he's gone.
Yep.
McInerney, 93. Last 3 at 91. He's actually been pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think he's still on that wing, though. Like, it's not. It's a draft option.
Yeah.
Prestia, 88. Huge Timmy Taranto this.
Yeah.
Now, you miss your Timmy chance to have a crack at Timmy Taranto, although I'll handball him over to you.
Yeah.
Because Prestia had a 59-point first quarter. 59. I think he had 13 touches. Did not see it afterwards.
I mean, I did catch that first quarter, and it was really impressive. Like,
Well.
the goal he kicked was amazing, but then
And do you know what else was really impressive?
yeah,
Only getting 29 points for the next 3 quarters.
As we do, yeah.
Unbelievable. Now, Timmy Taranto. Where are we at with him?
well, he goes. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Um,
Disappointing time in the side?
yeah, I'd say so. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting start.
I think when I picked him up, that would have been around gather round.
Yes, it was. Because we were
And
watching him play
So
Freo.
I could have picked up, someone like Ned Long.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was that week.
Yeah. So
Or the week after.
yeah, to go. Yeah, Tim Taranto. Yeah.
I mean, it's not been a disaster.
It's not been a disaster.
No,
So
that's fair.
But
So
it's one of those like don't let the door hit you on the way out there. Tim.
yeah, no, you're happy to be rid of him. Last 5 and 92. Just I think that's what he is.
Yeah.
Trainor 84. Just fuck you, Uze.
Playing on the wing, eh?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't have minded that role. Like what were we doing playing him full forward?
Just giving him a little
yeah, they're fucking throwing him around the place.
Oh, Sheldrick, nice.
Sheldrick 81. So we had 12 centre bounces here, 63%. Break even of 26. So this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Does he go on the bye?
Sheldrick.
Because he's
If you've got
600k
him.
with a break even of 20. He's gone 480s in a row playing in the guards.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the job security is not great to me. But I mean, they did have a win. As unconvincing as it was, they had a win.
Yeah.
He probably does stay there, so you probably keep him.
Yeah.
He's been a great pick if you got him at 400k.
Yeah. It just depends on your team setup this week, but if you can.
There's
maybe
been a
you'll-
lot of those mids this year that
Yeah.
have come through.
Yeah, there has.
Cheeksy 80, 22 and 2. It's just a classic Cheeksy, and you can't say you weren't warned.
Yeah.
We were all over this.
Yeah.
Last 593, it's Cheeksy.
Yeah.
Banksy 71. Yeah, just
Not ideal.
Yeah, and I think
But-
Short is probably on his way back.
Yeah.
so.
If you've got Banks, you send him packing.
Yeah, but he was a good little short-term pick.
Yeah.
Caleb Smith 64.
That's not bad.
Pretty good. I don't know if I'm completely convinced by him, but he's made some great cash. So obviously, I think I would still move him on his buy here, but
Oh,
maybe
really?
that's premature. I don't know. But like, is he gonna? Seriously,
375K.
Richmond were a disgrace. He could get
The break
dropped.
in. Yeah, I reckon if Short's back, he'll
Then he
be the first
probably
one out.
goes.
That's why I didn't pick him up.
Yeah, well, so
Otherwise, I would have
yeah,
got him.
That's and just lastly, the shit Warner. What is in Chad's contract? Because this bloke,
Yeah.
this guy stinks.
Yeah.
28 points, got one of the worst holding the balls I've ever seen. Like you're playing Richmond on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Like you've got all the time, and he's just like walking through the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Took like 6 steps and wasn't even close to kicking it and got nailed. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
So he's not an AFL footballer. I don't know what we're doing there.
Yeah.
Geelong and the Gold Coast. We've already spoken about him, but Homer, this was just vintage.
It was.
146, 40 disposals, and yeah, as I mentioned earlier, he's now got a last 5 of 115. So that's what that massive score does.
Absolutely.
Where he was kind of, I couldn't explain why he was going 70s early in the season. Like he had a couple hard tags and a couple poor games.
Yeah.
But otherwise he was going like 120, and when you've got that ceiling and you drop something like this, all of a sudden he was down at 900k.
It was.
And he's given you, a last 5 of 115. When did you get on? Did you get on
I got on
2 weeks ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
So he's averaging
about
a good
perfect time.
120 for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's massive. So he's now $1 million man. And yeah, as we said, you probably can't get him because of that buy.
Yeah.
And then they've got Richmond in round 17. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the CBA percent earlier. I had a look at it. He had 58% last week and had a 68% season average.
Okay.
So going to 89% is obviously a massiv jump. And
Yeah.
he's not going to be there with
won't
Baz
be there,
back.
yeah.
But can he be like a more of a mid-70s, high 70s, like
Yeah.
full-time mid? Because if so, he could be a 110 guy.
The thing is with Muntar,
And-
he can go anywhere.
Yes, he can. No, and also you can see why he gets tagged.
Yeah.
Because A, he can't handle a tag, and B, you don't tag him, and his 40 fucking hurt.
Yeah. Oh, he's dominant.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
What a player. Tom Stewart,
No.
110.
No.
110. Price, mid-700s, I think.
743.
Yeah, and you've spoken about, Tom. What is Tom Stewart going to have against Richmond? He could have 160.
Oh, my God. Oh my God.
We're going to
They've still
have...
got Essendon this week as well.
Okay, I need to plan ahead because in round 17, I need to be going triple Geelong.
You can't go triple.
Oh, yeah, I've got double. Oh, I've got used to 3 trades. Fuck. Okay, I'm going double Geelong. I'm going Myers and Stewart in round 17. That's happening. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you can't get him now with the bye, but... So, at least we get to see, is he kind of back? Because if he goes 100 into the bye, it's an easy
So
one.
he's got the Bombers this week, so you would expect a pretty big one this week.
Yeah, 90 plus.
If he doesn't go
minimum.
90 plus this week,
You're disappointed.
it might not be worth going.
Well, yeah, and then you can have a dilemma on his bye too.
Yeah.
Because you were probably planning on trading, but then...
They've got the Tigers.
I don't know. Interesting. Brian Myers, 108. Yeah, last 3, 117. Messi is just him.
Yeah, he's good.
Why we never
He's
properly
a top 6
considered
forward,
him.
Quite easily. Quite easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
He's going to be a high 90s
they've
guy.
got-
you watch, and Geelong take that little 20-metre hit up.
Mate, it is insane.
And
he gets it so easily.
Yeah. He
just finds the space there.
Yep.
He's so good at it.
No,
Fair
and
play
they
to
hit him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Matt Rao, 106. There's just something in that GMHBA grass.
Yeah.
11 tackles, 4 frees against. He was an angry
little
boy.
I saw he was a bit angry after his best mate got poleaxed. He was running around, and they were obviously getting
Oh,
belted.
yeah, Noah.
The game was
so he
done.
just started fucking smashing blokes. It's good to see. Tom Atkins, got to mention this bloke, scored 100, averaging 88.4 now. So that was a sneaky little one in draft. Well done to those that got him.
Yeah, well
Not
done.
in fantasy. All right, come on, mate. Mark O'Connor as well, 100, last 5 of 84. He was a sneaky one.
Yeah.
Sean Matter, 99. He's been a great draft pick
he's
after
been
missing
good.
the start of the year, averaging 87.
Oh, very good.
Very good. Jack Martin. So, had a hot start. Yeah, I've got to mention it because, I saw him at the start. He was, in the middle, then, down back a bit and was racking up. And I was thinking,
Whoa.
hang on, this is... And then I look and he's a 440k forward.
I mean...
So, I'm like, well,
Could have it worse.
We're picking worse. But he had 57% time on ground for 53.
Nah.
Nah.
Well,
No.
you see how he goes the next couple of weeks. but
Yeah, no, after, if he looks good before his bye... then he's another Richmond
he'd have
option.
he'd have to be
But
pretty good.
yeah, no, I don't know. If you're good enough to get him on your bench, then
I did not.
absolutely.
Wow, I didn't see this one.
Yeah, this is a car crash. Johnny Noble, the House of Cards, they came crashing down.
Wow.
12 disposals, 46 points.
That's
So at least, if we're clutching at straws here, you probably, especially being round 13, with just the two teams on the bye, you probably wipe that score out.
yeah.
So his 46 was actually more like probably a mid-60s.
Yeah.
But it's still a fucking disaster. He's now he's down to his last 5, he's 85. He's tumbling in price. He has got to go.
Yeah.
But it's been hey, if you got on early,
it's been a good
great
run.
pick. If you got on late,
Sure.
thinking he was 100, John
Yeah.
Noble,
No.
wake up.
Yeah, come on. Mid-season pickup.
What are we doing here? And I actually don't really know what to say about this. Sammy Flanders. 34 points.
Yeah.
Now, we've got to be fair here, right? Because we have a crack at Clarko for, what he does with like Shees and the rolls. And there's a few others that get thrown around. What is Dimmer doing with Sam Flanders?
Yeah, he's ruining him.
This is fucked.
Yeah.
So he's got a last 5 of 56. What is this role? They scored 37 points, mate.
Yeah.
And Sam Flanders is having 7 disposals as a forward pocket.
Yeah. No, it's not right.
This is a guy that averaged 30 touches and was
Yeah.
good in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you know they're running through the middle? David Swallow
Yeah.
got to run through the middle this week. Bailey Humphrey, look, Humper.
Nah, Humper's
And
crap.
Humper's shit.
He's fucking
He's
ass.
not, but he can do things up forward.
Yeah.
So surely Humphreys he's going to be a forward and give those 50% CBAs to Flanders.
So Humper had 22%,
Yeah.
Swallow 22%.
Yeah.
So you'd say just give that
Just
44
give it to
Flanders.
Give Flanders 50% at least. Because I understand you got Rao, Anderson and Took.
Yeah.
Like, he's fourth in line. That's fair.
Yeah.
But this is a joke,
Yeah.
what we're seeing right now.
He'd be thinking, what am I doing?
Get me
here?
out.
Yeah.
He probably wants out.
Yeah.
And if he gets out, he could be a lock for us somewhere next year. Imagine that mid-forward Sam Flanders averaging fucking 40. Unreal. No, that is seriously bad.
No, it's bad.
GWS and Port, did you catch?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, because
Yeah,
I did
you're
miss
on-
this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was a pretty good game, this one. But
Another low-scoring,
yeah, I mean,
game.
when I say a good game, I think
good
it's
tight contest.
tight contest.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe not
Yeah.
so skillful.
Okay.
Yeah, but I tell you who was a great player, Connor Rozee, 121. Yeah, kicked 1 goal, 3 off halfback, 28 disposals. Yeah, what else can you say about him?
I need to get him in.
I think he's
a lock one. He's the safest 110. Well, I was, because I had a look at this, and I was like,
fucked.
he had 0 CBA, so he is full-on
Yeah,
halfback.
he is.
But he's kicked 1 goal, 3. So he fucking he gets forward.
Yeah, I think
And impacts.
Yeah,
so it's not like
no, the goal
Yeah.
he kicked, I mean, it's 3 points, but the goal he kicked was a 50-metre penalty, I think. if
Oh,
I recall.
okay. Well, because I definitely saw one of the point where he just burst out, from halfback and fucking
Yeah.
almost slotted one from
No.
50.
He's he just pops up as well. Like I don't think it's not all cheap,
No.
but he gets those +6s where you're just like, that's just beautiful. Where's he come from, kind of thing. So no, he's been great. And yeah, you have to have him. You have to get him.
that's I don't know where I'm going to find the cash
when
because he's
are
had
you
his
gonna-
buy.
yeah. That's why I went. In
It'll
this
be
week.
it'll probably be one of those where I'm in round 16. I might be shuffling premiums.
Yeah, you might have to.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Green 109. So yeah, another solid score from old Tommy. 31 disposals.
I'm not ready to forgive him,
No.
but if he gives me
Bring
one
it back.
more 110, if he gives me 3 110s in a row, okay.
Who have they got?
I'm not sure.
reckon they might
Actually,
have
that's
a-
worth looking at
Oh,
because
Lions and then Suns is a very healthy
but
matchup
I
for the
think-
Mints.
Yeah. Oh, so he goes Suns, which is massive,
Yeah.
and the Lions. That could be that just has a bit of Tom Green written all over it, I think.
Yeah, was he on your trade block in round 16?
So, this is I've got a few blokes playing for their life in round 16. So I've got some locks, right, that aren't going anywhere, right? Max Holmes, not going anywhere. Jai Caldwell, not going anywhere. Nick Martin, Bailey Smith. Well, Bailey Smith pending he plays next week.
Yeah.
Neither of those are going anywhere. So it's kind of between, I think, Will Ashcroft, he's on the block. But if he does something massive, I don't know. Tom Green's there. Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah.
No guarantee.
No,
I don't know.
Lockie
There's a
Whitfield.
few blokes playing for their spot there.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, we may as well pivot to Lockie Whitfield, as you said him. He scored 86. Mate.
I don't know what's going on here.
Dude, genuinely, I don't know what role they're asking him to play. Like, obviously, it's kind of half forwardish, but he looks like he's lost out there.
I just, it's all well and good to say, or get his touches, ball movement in front of centre, but if he doesn't know where to be in front of centre, because I've seen the ball just goes over his head.
Yeah. He still had 24 touches.
He was an all-Oz halfback.
Yeah.
And you know what we're doing instead?
Yeah.
The fucking butcher.
No, it was very hard to watch, that, especially, I think, that first half. You had guys like Jack Buckley, obviously Lockie Ash, Himmelberg, just they all had over 5 or 6 marks, and they just.
Oh, Himmelberg was fucking
I'm telling
marshalling
you,
the team.
if Whitfield was actually halfback this game, he would have scored really well.
Yeah, I don't get it, because yes, the tsunami failed a bit for a couple of weeks, but you didn't have Hogan, you didn't have Kelly, you were missing other blokes.
Yeah.
Whitfield is why it works.
Yeah.
With the handball and his gut running.
Yeah.
You put him up forward, it just doesn't work.
Lockie Whitfield is not like Harry Sheasel or any of those sort of guys. Harry Sheasel, they've moved him. I mean, when they moved him in midfield, we saw what happened.
Yeah. No, Whitfield couldn't go into the midfield and do that.
No.
But when you make that switch, go and watch Lockie Whitfield run. Because that's why that switch works, because then he gets off his mount and gets open, and it works.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. It's, honestly, if this role continues, so now is the question, obviously we've got 2 more weeks till their bye. If this role continues, and he goes 90, 95.
But do you know what the fuck thing is?
What do you do?
If this role had switched just before the buy, fine. When he was 1.1 million, he's going to be fucking 950k buys by if the role continues.
And we're going to be in trouble.
And then what? I trade him for 950, and he plays the Eagles in round 17 and has 150.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Yep, not ideal with Lockie Whitfield.
Fucking shit house.
He was.
Come on, get him back there.
He was on track to be one of the top averages in the game. But Lockie Ash 105 has taken obviously that role, and a bit of a butcher, but fantasy-wise, we don't give a fuck.
No, absolutely.
So,
8 kick-ins.
Yeah, well
very
done.
good.
Bergman. So as you mentioned,
come on.
So 104. You said so. There's 60% CBAs, but he did he basically just went with Green the whole way. He started the first CBA, but that's because Green did.
Yeah.
Green then gets injured, gets the corky, tries to play it out, and goes into the square out of full forward. And I'm thinking, you're about to get a generational stinker here.
And I'm going, why is he following a bloke who can't fucking walk?
Yeah.
What were we doing there?
Yeah.
That did have the Berg 30 written all over it.
It genuinely did. But then... then he sort of... I think he had most CBA support in the last quarter.
Yeah,
so,
he was in there.
That's 96% time on ground as well. My goodness.
Yeah.
So that's a big indicator, I think. For the next few weeks, he might be all right.
Because they're trying to get him under contract, aren't they?
Yeah.
Surely they're throwing him in there.
Yeah. Well,
and they've got nothing to lose anymore. It's a good win.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Rosie had a great game off halfback.
And hopefully
we're
done with Willem Drew.
He's a good player, Willem Drew. Butters, 104. So 936k.
Yeah, that's a cheap Zach Butters. For the rest of the season, he's going to outperform 936k. Yeah. That is a fact.
He's 153k down.
The problem is, when do you go?
So you reckon this week?
You have to flag it. Now, will Melbourne do it again? Surely not. But they do.
So, we're talking about Ed Langdon here.
Langdon,
Could he go with him? Possibly. Yeah, maybe they put someone else on him. I don't know. He's also got Sydney and then Carlton after that.
I know.
Which is Sydney is Jordan, possibly.
Yeah, I think Jordan stopped doing that.
Yeah,
but
then Carlton is, if he stays in the side, Chincotta.
Yes. Yeah.
So...
the return of the fucking taggers, hey?
Oh, mate, disgusting.
It's so annoying.
So Madden, fuck. 80. He looked
I mean, it's
pretty
kind of
good.
like you come in as a number one ruck, you know.
Yeah.
That's what you expect. He was good.
Yeah. I kind of wish I got him now. But
That was a sneaky one to do last week as an R3.
Yeah, I think the question is with him. I mean, if you got him last week, it's great because he'll probably play the next two. But what will he score in the next two? He's got the Lions and the Suns. They're two notoriously tough matchups
Tough
for
rucks.
So
And then he's probably out, most likely.
if he performs,
Well-
how you think he would go is probably he's out. But I tell you who's
Yeah.
been pretty fucking terrible.
Yep.
Is the guy that might replace him is Briggsy.
That's
He's
fair.
been shocking. So, I mean,
You don't need to tell me.
imagine if Madden performs all right. I don't know. But
Yeah, okay.
Who knows? Yeah, Jackson, 62. So, the Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
He looked all right.
The Wolverine.
Yeah, he actually looked all
He
right.
scored well.
His role
What was his
out
role?
wing.
Okay. Well, wingers
But
work for a rookie.
They've had a couple go out through
Well,
that
we've had
wing role.
Moraes, right.
And someone else. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember. But
Yeah.
he's probably someone.
Well, it's hard to
should look at him.
find rookies off their bye. Well,
Yeah.
like, decent rookies. And
Maybe
here
I
you've got
should go-
one who's going to have a low break even, had his bye,
He is definitely an option.
and it's a decent role, obviously.
Yeah. And then finally, obviously, Toby Green, 20. So, yeah, had the cork.
Yeah,
What can you do?
Yeah, look, people did do that after his 250th.
I did see on Twitter.
Yes.
We'll get to it. But yeah.
And yeah, can we give any sympathy for bringing Toby Green in?
No, probably not.
No, I don't think so.
North Eagles, mate. You
North
wanna go with
Eagles.
that?
Oh,
Do you want to say anything before we get to the
fucking
scores?
have mercy. I lost the plot completely on Sunday watching that.
As I said to you, mate, I don't know what else you can expect.
But just like at some point, I want the team that I support to win a fucking game.
No, I get you.
An hour after the game, I go, right, well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
But just at some point, can you fucking give us something? And the pressure is great. So if I'm taking positives, they are playing for Mini. Like, they obviously like him. They're fired up.
You'd hope. Yeah, well, you'd hope so, yeah.
No, but like that's the best pressure that was some of the best pressure I saw all weekend.
Yeah.
Like there was a reason North were butchering it. It was
Yes.
because we were all over them. And any team other than the Eagles would have beaten North by 10 to 12 goals.
Yeah,
With how that game got played.
No, you probably.
That was
Yeah.
they couldn't get the ball past halfway. But it was just a fucking butchering. And then, when we started winning it North actually dominated the centre all day.
Yeah.
So then in the third quarter when we got on top, it was a fucking freight train.
Yeah.
But then obviously we got ran over. And do you know why we got run over? Because Harry Sheasel went into the midfield. Oh, what a bit of fucking rocket science by Genius Clarko, hey?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
There's a couple coaches out there that just need to wake the fuck up with their,
Like,
where
what
they
are
put
we
their best
doing?
players.
I know they're an AFL coach and we are AFL fantasy nerds and
Yeah.
like to just, pipe up on Twitter, but come on.
Yeah.
How obvious was that? So he had an 89-point, 20 disposal second half, and in Q4, he went 100% midfield.
Yeah.
Inside, had 53 points, had 12 touches, 4 tackles, 3 votes.
Yeah.
He literally went in there and won that game for
Oh,
them.
that last quarter, he was everywhere. So,
He won the game.
yeah.
Why would he not be a full-time mid?
Yeah.
Like, why is he a forward/mid?
No,
Who
mate.
the fuck came up with that idea? Well, because he was drafted as a half forward, we should just play him like Sam Flanders, should we?
I think
I think Nick Dacos should go to half forward.
I think
What a joke.
George Wardlaw's in a bit of trouble.
Oh. Thank God we threw him out the middle.
They threw him to half forward,
Yeah.
and he was pretty poor.
Look, he goes hard, this George,
Yeah.
but he's a bit of a headless chook.
Yeah, he
Just
shanks
fucking
it
running
as
into-
well. So who would you rather coming out of the middle?
Well, yeah, because they started getting some clean ball out of the middle because,
Yeah.
you put Harry Sheasel there. So anyway,
Yeah.
if he goes full-time mid, he could be a 120 guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, if we just ditch this forward nonsense,
yeah,
which, look, we don't know if it's going to happen,
yeah.
but a 90-point second half, come on. Surely not again. Cherry, I've got legitimately 30-point unders here. 111.
It's not good enough.
That is poor. 0 marks.
Oh,
Against
not
Matt
notice that?
Flynn.
Yeah,
I reckon
that's
people
it.
average
Flynn-
6 or 7 marks.
Yeah, you're
Flynn
right.
can't cover the ground.
Thing is, X's scoring is really usually from the. I mean, 0
No,
marks. is
0
not good
marks. Come on. No, that's not good enough. So when I'm looking at my trade last week of Marshall to Cherry, was it worth it? I don't know. Not for a 111. Now, if he goes on and averages 120, sure.
Yeah.
But, nah, that is fucking well unders.
Yeah.
And it fucked us with our captains.
Yeah, it did.
Because
Fucked me.
in no world was Tristan Cherry not going 120 plus against the Eagles.
Yeah.
In no world. So all of a sudden he gives us a 111, and it's one of those, do you, don't you? Like if he goes 120, whatever, we'll take it, X. But 111, so I chased it, got a 106, you chased it, got an 83.
Stinker.
I think a lot of people near the top 100 probably were safe.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Wasn't really many people you could chase that beat it after that. So I guess the one was vicing, Holmes. But yeah, not good enough. Disappointing. Still, it's a 111. So,
it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I'll move on from it.
Yeah, go on.
Tom Power, 102, 68% centre bounces and 0 impact.
Yeah, he's shit ass.
Well, I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Shit.
Caleb Daniel, speaking of 0 impact, 97, just junk, 9 kick-ins.
Yep.
He's a fucking midget.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Hey, we take 97.
No, we take it. We feel dirty about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, Colby.
Yeah. So he's
Colby.
He's
95 points, which 95 from 35 disposals. Probably not the best conversion, but hey, he's back. This is what we like to see.
All we needed to see today.
6 kick-ins,
Oh, yes.
so he was full halfback. And I saw, now Champion Data's, player ratings, it's all a bit of nonsense.
Whatever.
But he did have his highest rated game of his career.
Oh, really?
19.2, which when it suits the narrative, I'm more than happy to use him. So he had his best rated game of his career back at halfback when he has 35. But that North said, and this was Drew Jones again, was on the money.
Yeah, he was.
That they want the ball in his hands, which obviously is not happening at half forward. And he's got the speed to kind of break the line.
Yeah.
I think he could actually be very good in that role.
Yeah, he had 144 in Supercoach. That's
Well,
wild.
that's he was fucking good. I think he went at 90%.
Yeah.
From his 35.
Okay.
So
so he's got to be in.
I think he's there to stay. If your keeper, coach doesn't know too much, I would throw offers at him because I think Colby's, it's only up from here.
So 633,000 defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
I mean,
off his buy. He's had his buy.
You have to.
I think it's a must-have.
He'll be the most traded player.
He should be. He's a must-have.
Yeah.
Got to break into 40.
Yep.
Duggan, 91. Just get him the fuck out of... honestly, the team.
Yep.
I don't want to see him there.
Yep.
Sick of it. Jack Graham, got to mention this for our mate, 83. Good on him.
Yep.
Yeah. How about the Spin King, though?
Oh, my.
The old Foss.
81.
The Fossil.
Yeah, no, well done. And he kicked a goal.
Couple good spins. And let me tell you, he was very good in that last quarter.
Did he have any spins?
No, actually no spins.
I reckon there's a...
I lied.
It's probably a...
Correlation.
Less
spins.
spins.
Less holding the balls.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's onwards and upwards now for Foss. I better check his break even because people were forced to hold him. He went up 40k and he's now got a break even of 18. What if he just goes to fucking average 60 now and goes up another couple 100k? That will actually kind of piss me off.
Typical.
Yeah. Elijah Hewitt. So 81, 4-point last quarter, which he did hobble off in that third. And I mean, Elijah Hewitt injury, who's shocked. But in that first 3 quarters, he was almost 3 Brownlow votes.
Yeah.
He's actually
he was
starting to flash it.
Third quarter, he was so good.
And he's out up 250k for the season. So that's been massive.
Yeah. No, well done.
So got to mention this. Tyrell Dewar.
Yeah.
So 74 points. He has gone back in place of Marriage.
Yeah.
So he's kind of gone into that Marriage role.
So they've swapped them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's had 4 kick-ins on the weekend. He's a 385k forward.
Okay.
And he's gone, I think, 60 and 74 now.
Yeah, 50, then 70. Yeah.
Yeah, 50, 74. So, again,
See, well, it's one of those.
Do you watch him next week?
If he goes,
and then off the bye, maybe do it because it's definitely one to consider.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Marriage though, 68 as a winger. That's just yuck.
Probably
but
the last
great.
we speak of him.
Yes, no, that's his last mention.
Yeah.
LDU.
Oh,
what a disgrace.
Well,
In fact, we're having a go at Wardlaw, and I'm having a go at Tom Power.
Yeah,
harsh. We want to speak about as Tommy had 30, so that is harsh because LDU. Speaking of zero impact.
he's been paid, and he's just said, "Thanks, boys.
I
I'm
would
just gonna
actually-
sit here and do nothing for the
I
7
would
years."
almost argue he is their biggest problem. Because remember when we were speaking about Harry Sheasel should be in that role, like
Yeah.
the Nick Dacos role? But you know who is it? It's LDU.
Yeah,
Like, oh, let's get the hands out to LDU.
yeah.
Fucking what are we doing? He is a disgrace. So, look, thankfully, we've moved on from getting LDU off his bye.
Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, Hardiman, 33.
I'm not.
He goes 60 next week. I think you're right with the fact that we didn't let them switch.
Yeah, we didn't.
So
They didn't switch it once, but
and they're not going to look for him otherwise. So
yeah,
he's not going to score.
I'm not going to have a go at Riley here. It's on me for picking a fucking 500k rookie.
Yeah, and just lastly, I don't really know what we're doing here. Bo Allen 0.
Yes, that was very odd. For about 3 minutes of game
Put
time.
him in the waffle or give him a go.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck this is.
yeah. I don't know either.
All right. Dave, do you want to save that cat?
Yeah, I'm going to bring the cat in.
You bring the cat in and
Hang on.
I'll...
No, we'll just let him in and see what he does. There you go.
Yeah, nice. Guest appearance on the pod. All right, we'll start the Carlton Essendon. So Sunday night.
Yeah.
So obviously
Oh.
that was a bit of revenge from the Eastern States because they had their public holiday today.
Yeah,
I actually didn't mind
I was
sitting
fine.
down on a Sunday night,
Yeah.
being able to.
I think that was good.
Yeah, watch some footy.
I mean, I don't. Well, I guess
Kind of delayed the dread
Eastern
of
States.
the weekend.
Yeah, it did.
A little.
Eastern States obviously had they could sleep in on Monday, but
Yep.
no, I thought it was really good, and it was actually pretty good game.
It was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
So George Hewitt.
Oh my
we'll
God.
start there.
He's back.
125. Now he did leave
Yeah,
significantly.
yeah,
He peaked with a 49 a couple of weeks ago. He's now down to 912k. We're right back to where he started.
yeah.
60% CBAs. So this was my flag here,
Oh,
right?
right, yeah.
Second lowest for the season, while Sam Walsh went and had 76%, which was his highest.
In this game.
Yes.
Okay.
And Cripps was also forward a bit. So,
Nah, I don't think you could do it then.
like 60% CBAs,
No,
that's
no.
just a little concerning. Like, it's a good score, but
no.
unless he's full-time mid,
I don't
yeah,
think so.
slightly concerning. TDK 121, just poor old man Goldie couldn't go
Well,
with him.
TDK,
He was very good.
People had to bring him in for who? Briggs?
Did they?
Yeah, Briggs.
Oh, he's back down at 900.
Yeah, mate, he was below what he started at going into this week.
He is.
And,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Briggs was injured, and so people that I don't know, some people had Briggs and things like that. Yeah, TDK was an option this week, and
All right,
should
let's.
have done it,
Well, fuck, and he plays the Eagles this week.
mate. He goes. I mean,
Look,
he didn't
remember
do
he
very well.
sucked. Yeah, but that was Baz.
That was. He goes Eagles.
He'll touch up
then he's
Flinny.
obviously got North.
Yeah.
But then he's got Port. So
And look, when I'm looking at Gorn having his buy, that's 300k. I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly.
yeah.
No, that's silly. Let's move on. Doherty 112, and seriously, Michael Voss
He
should be sacked.
for not having him here. Yeah.
Like, I mean, amongst many things that Michael Voss is clueless at, coaching, being one of them.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the way they almost lost that game was a disgrace.
It was.
But look, the Doc. Why did we move him from halfback?
Not
like,
sure.
it's not like
Nah.
it's not like we were having some cheesy ball issues. Like,
No.
he's a gun halfback. So anyway, he was awesome. No kick-ins, but he received them. Like, got the +6s there.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Junked hard at times
I
as
thought-
they switched.
I thought he was taking some clunks.
Oh,
like
but no,
contested
there was
marks.
one where he went back with the fly in the last that grabbed it. That was a fucking elite mark.
So
he is a gun.
yeah, so they.
He's a gun.
As we said, they've got West Coast, North, Port, going into Collingwood and Brisbane.
Yeah.
Um,
And I tell ya, if he
821k.
Well, he should, because he hadn't played too much before. He should, hopefully, if he's just back before the last set of DPPs roll in, hopefully he can go back.
Yeah. So do you?
Because then, I mean, Doc
You've-
could be a 105. Like, Doc at halfback.
Oh, you reckon he could be a keeper?
Well, he's gone 112.
Fuck.
Doc at halfback. We know what Doc at halfback is.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. He's
Yeah.
gone-
So you can absolutely. Like I say, if you're looking for value this week, I'm Doc ahead of Bergman. I
Yeah.
think this role is here.
Yeah.
The Doc is back.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. The Doc is back.
Wow.
Jai Caldwell, seriously, 110.
He's
And I'm almost disappointed with 110.
Yeah.
He was at 72 at half time. This guy is unreal.
Yeah.
Like,
he is.
actually, now that I own him and I watch him,
Yeah.
he is fucking unbelievable. So he is officially a full-time mid. So he had 80% CBAs. They're just going up every week. He's awesome. And as I said, I had that stat last week before I traded him in when it looked. And in 12 games, it directly correlated last year where he was in the middle, he went 120, he wasn't, he went 70.
Yeah.
Literally. So this is now 14 games since the start of last year, and he's averaging about 117, 118.
Yeah.
So that makes him like a M1.
So
That puts him in M1 areas.
yeah, the week that you got Caldwell,
Yeah.
I got Merritt.
See, that was when I got 9K and hit
Caldwell-
rock bottom and just thought, well, fuck it.
Caldwell is the perfect guy, perfect pick.
He is
'Cause as
never
you-
going to get tagged.
Yeah, he's got 80% CBA roll, and
Yep.
he's never going to get tagged. And he tackles.
And he tackles so hard.
Yeah.
And he hits up for +6s. He's like I want to say like kind of Josh Dunkley, Bulldogs type spec.
He's 100% a top 8 mid.
I-
Very, very, very
I think
easily.
I think Walker. I'm literally. I want to call him like a 115 guy. Like I'm being serious.
Oh, you make some pretty big calls on this podcast.
I do. Definitely 110 guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nah.
Mate,
Yeah.
I agree.
He is so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll never get tagged.
Yeah.
So awesome. Ollie Hollins, 109 is 12 weeks too late.
Yep.
Adam Shearer. Fucking
Oh,
thought he was playing down at
Tyrone
Marvel.
Vickery. Far out.
We were pretty happy with.
Mate, you got to take that really.
107. No, which before fucking Durham fucking put him in the next week.
Yeah, he was
that
going off.
thug.
Mate,
he was going. That was a 140.
Yeah, it was.
He was going massive. So look, we take 107. He said, "Yeah, I'm fine, mate," and that was good enough. You're good to go. Had a shiner. He looked okay in the last quarter, I think. Was that just the coaching?
Look, all I'm saying is he had a interview after the game and he was speaking different languages there, I thought.
He's speaking in passing
tongue, yeah. No, he was speaking fine. So
I think he'll be okay, and
yeah.
thank God.
But he did do he hurt his calf or hammy or his cramp.
So hopefully it was cramp. Yeah,
Mate, I'm telling you, I would not be surprised
if he's out next week.
Just something. It would just be typical.
That
Something
would
to
be
flag
fucked because he's had his bye, and that would be a disaster for me.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on before I think about that anymore.
Nick Martin.
Nick Martin, 106. So my skipper, fucking hell. So Darcy Parish took his mid minutes, which was just disgusting.
Yeah.
So he was back to starting he was half back, and then a little bit
Yeah.
he was half forward, and then once Merritt then switched forward, Martin was back for that whole second half.
Yeah, he was.
But not. He was on kick-ins when it was run it up the guts and just kick it long. So he did get a few at the end. I don't know what to think about it. Like in that role, he's going to have quarters where he doesn't see it, which was what happened.
Yeah.
So it was a roller coaster ride. Thank God he stormed home to get to 106. He's got a last 5 of 125. He's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just that if we got midfield Nick Martin, we're talking like a 115 guy. Yeah. But still, he's over 1.1 million. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
Walshy, 105. So he was in for me, and I was keen on him, and he was very good.
Yeah,
so
totally.
most mid minutes for the season, which he does quite like coming off a break.
Yeah.
Where it seems he goes on these little runs. He is a bit of a downhill skier. We know he likes an easy run, and he's got an easy run. He's 902k. Eagles next week, who he went 120 odd on, almost had 40, on the back of 76% CBAs. I think that's a very easy option if you need it.
Maybe I should just get Walsh instead of Doc. No, actually, Doc's better.
Yeah, that's an interest for 80k.
Yeah.
Doc's. I think Doc can be similar.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, but Walshy is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Parish. Look, formerly my boy, 89 points, but now that Caldwell's my boy, I've just got to say it. It was 31 of the very worst.
Yeah.
He went at 58%, like full butcher.
Yeah.
And he had 56% CBAs. Yeah, booted Martin out of the mix, and honestly was shit house.
Yeah.
So it's annoying. But look, it was good to see, Caldwell stay in there with Parish back. But then I guess the flag here is Zach Merritt, 32% CBAs. What are we doing? full forward in the last quarter. What do you think is that, Merritt? Because you brought him in.
I thought he was embarrassing, to be honest. Fucking embarrassing, mate. I mean, he's lucky not to be loser of the week this week. Mate, he's taking kickouts and then he's like shanking them.
He did shank one.
Oh my!
Maybe that's why he went forward,
mate. Seriously, like Caldwell's obviously a he's a good player.
Yeah.
Get Merritt in there with him, mate. We've got Sam Durham running around like a fucking buffoon.
Fucking hell. So Sam Durham had 40% CBAs, which is just a joke. He is an embarrassing player.
He's shithouse.
He's a thug, and we'll see you later, mate. We don't have to see him until after the bye.
Mate.
Durham is gone, right?
Yeah.
The shithead's gone.
So
Parrish can get his 50%, and Merritt can go back in the middle next week. There is no way he doesn't.
I actually think Will Setterfield's not bad for their midfield mix.
No, I think he's been okay.
Yeah. So I think if you go Setterfield, Caldwell, Merritt,
yes,
as your three,
I think that's a good three.
Yeah, and then you add a fourth. I don't know who the fourth wants to be.
I think then Parrish,
I reckon it should be Nick Martin.
It shouldn't. Parrish shouldn't be in the team
because then he's a bit different.
But the thing is, Nick Martin can play half back. Parrish can't really play anywhere else. So I think it's going to be Parrish. But
no, they need to throw
Merritt
back in
needs
there,
to get back in there, honestly. Folded by Chincotta again, his bunny.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
At least he tackled.
Yeah,
At least he tackled.
79. I've got... I mean, look at his score. He's gone 80-54, then the 149, and then 94-79. I don't know why I traded him in.
He's averaging 91 in his last five with really a 149.
It's bad.
Quick maths, he's averaging about 78 in those other four.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know what he needs to average over the next 2 weeks for me to keep him.
See, that's the thing. Like, if I see Merritt full back in the middle next week and he goes well, then I'm looking at him after his bye.
If he pops up a couple,
because we know that Merritt went 150 in round 24 last year.
Yeah, he's the same as Dunkley. If he produces a couple more stinkers, like he's going to be.
It's going to be a tough call in round 16.
He's going to be a shit price on his buy as well.
It's a tough call.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an issue. Cooper Lord, briefly mentioned him earlier. 81 points, 600k forward.
Oh no,
no idea who he is or what he looks like, to be honest. But George, a resident.
Yeah, George.
Guest appearance last week,
he's
and Carlton fan, so I trust what he says here. He's a big fan. He's bringing him in.
Oh.
So, well, look, that's I don't know if I trust what he's doing, but he's a 600k forward. Yeah, he's got a last three of 80.
Look, he's actually been alright. He's out in that wing for him, so that's the only thing.
Yes, but if he averages 75, he's just a warm body because he's had his bye. Makes you 80, 100k.
Would you rather Cooper Lord or Sam Butler?
Well, that's the toss-up. Well, Butler has a bye next week, but will Cooper Lord even count him round 15?
Yeah.
Nah. Tough. Johnson, wow, 79. This was emotional.
Yeah.
So not only for the score, which was great, but how well he played.
He was really good.
In that second half, and especially in that last quarter, he was elite.
Yeah.
Bit off a couple of elite kicks. He's got some wheels.
Yeah.
Went at 83% for the game. Just massive. I think he almost had 50 points in the second half.
Was he the sub last week?
He got subbed. He got subbed out. So maybe he just gassed out early because he had 11. He'd been okay.
Okay.
Got subbed out. Yeah. But so look, he's going to be on my field this week. Can I expect an 80 again? Absolutely not. But what's he 280? Because you don't have him.
No.
I think how well he's got to stay in the side.
It's either him or old mate
that
Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one to split. I like Johnson. He was good.
Okay.
Very good. Setterfield, 78. So I'm kind of is it him v Parrish at some point? Like, do they both fit in the side? Maybe arguably not.
Yeah.
So you're playing one or the other.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Lawal, 59. So the defender.
He was out in the wing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked all right. He tackled hard.
No, he was solid.
But I don't know if he was laid in for Redmond, so
that's.
I don't think he'll.
No, job security is.
I wouldn't be picking him.
Scary stuff. Clark, 58. He needed a GPS out there a couple times. Down back, even the commentators were saying maybe get this bloke back up forward because he kicked 3 goals the other week.
Yeah, I think he was back there because Redmond was out.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work. I thought he was okay on the wing. So look,
Yeah, I don't know-
hopefully he's okay.
It didn't work, but I didn't think he was horrific. I think he's a pretty good. Like he'll be good.
No, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we need him to keep making cash till round 16. And just lastly, Chin Cotter, 18 points. Well done, mate.
Yeah, embarrassing.
Fucking idiot. Okay, finishing off today with Melbourne and the Pies. Spoken about him already. Joshy Dacos, 128.
Yep.
34 disposals, 11 marks. And yeah, last 3 of 110. So, and I think they're all tons. So
Yeah,
he
stays.
got to be happy with that.
Yep.
Got to stay. Max Gorn, 122. So obviously he has to stay. I've been talking about maybe trading him, but I'd be trading the best player in the comp.
You would be.
How about that with Stephen May, though?
Mate.
What? Like, if you're Gorn, you're
Bizarre.
literally like one of the best players in the comp. You're fucking keeping your team in the game.
Yeah.
Yes, he shanked the kick as he's fucking
Look, it was a great mark, and then
taught one.
into possibly one of the worst kicks I've ever seen in my
I
life.
think that could be the worst. But fucking Stephen May, what comes to tell you? Or,
Don't kick it there, mate.
or hit the short one, mate. Like, fuck off. I would have done the same. Like,
I would love to find out what he said. It would be so.
I need what
like,
May said. 100%. Because I'm doing exactly what Max did.
He
and I'm
pushed him
storming
away.
off. Yeah, and then he stormed down the race. Fucking as he should have. Clayton Oliver, 109. Just a fucking classic.
Yeah.
That's just a load of shit, isn't it?
Yeah, he was good.
Ned Long. This is... Frankly, he's annoying. And you know what? His owners, they haven't showed up to the pod here, so as a couple non-owners, he's missing his bodyguards. And frankly, where the fuck was Nick Dacos' bodyguard? Because apparently that's what he was last week.
Ned Long.
Way to go
You've
to
got-
protect Nick there.
Yeah, no, you got to go out.
You had one job there.
Yeah, you got a belt.
Nobody wants you to get the ball, mate.
Yeah,
You got to go deal with Ed.
yeah.
And he didn't.
He was giving him he gave him a couple taps.
Oh, no, he was like fucking peeling off for the handballs. Like
Yeah.
fucking hell, Ned. Butcher, running goal, 40 out, Shanksy.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, I'm taking the piss because
Yeah.
he's been
great.
he has been he's been getting close to pick of the year now. Like
I think he
the
is
fact
pick of the
that
year.
he's gone a last 3 of 110.
Yeah.
So now he's going to be 900k. It's like,
He's
so I mean,
875.
do you trade him this week?
What's his break even? 63.
It's tough. It's kind of I feel like it's getting greedy if you hold him
Yeah,
because he's
yeah.
priced at 90.
I think
That if you kept him and he went 70, you'd be going, oh
I reckon
shit.
you try. You could downgrade to Doherty.
But mate, he's got some fanboys out there, I tell you.
Yeah, I would probably trade him.
Yeah. Petraka, 89. So this is and last 5 of 89, back to 900k or
Yeah.
just above. What happens with him?
Well, he stays, doesn't he?
He
But-
stays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what?
Because he's got a last 5 of 89.
Well, you could see if he has another stinker this week. I mean, it's their bye next week, but he's a forward, mate. Like I don't know what you can't be chopping and changing forwards.
No, that's that's
In
true.
my opinion,
No,
'Cause
that's
you,
true.
You chop and change from Petrarca to.
Yeah, no, that's
you
fair.
could even go to Brian Myers and he ends up averaging 80 for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
No, good point. Nick Dacos, 83. And you know what? To be fair to Nick, he didn't fold here.
No,
Because,
yeah,
and we're going to
Yeah.
talk about this in a bit, but Ed Langdon was fucking blatantly cheating.
it was fucked.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
He didn't even look at the ball.
No, it was bad.
And do you know what the end result was? Ed Langdon, 4 disposals to Nick's 20 and a goal.
Yeah.
And it could have been 20 and 2.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
no,
So that's as good as Nick having 40.
no. Langdon
And
didn't even look at the ball. As
You
you
played
said.
with 17 men on the field.
Yeah, there was times where the ball he could have won the ball.
Yeah.
When it was on it was like literally right next to him on the floor.
And he's
But
tying Nick
instead,
Dacos' shoe.
He's like grabbing Dake. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like. I agree that Nick sooks as much as anyone through a tag.
Oh yeah,
But
that was a joke.
That was next level.
That
Like,
wasn't sooking.
That was
was different.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was ridiculous.
I
Like, does Goodwin not have Nick Dacos or something?
Yeah.
Like fucking genuinely weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. Rivers 78, just kind of that is what he is really.
Yeah.
Dan Houston 76, averaging 73. There's a shocking draft pick.
He was off to a flyer in the first quarter as well.
It's just
Yeah.
nah,
Shocking pick.
not good. Cozzy Pickett 64. Gun player, was good in this game, kicked
Yeah,
3, but
yeah.
just not a fantasy scorer. So there you go, he's gone 40-60.
Yeah.
Goes to show those 3 weeks were a bit fluky. Langford 52, his time is just about up.
Yeah.
Well, you said Thank God the decision between Riley Hardiman and Ed Allen didn't cost me.
Yeah.
Because Allen went 33, sub-vest, and he's in and out.
Yeah,
Because he's
he's
on his
done.
bye now, and he's getting dropped, potentially.
Yeah.
if someone's
He didn't
coming
look
back
happy
in.
on the bench when they've.
And it just goes to show that these picks can backfire.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, we've seen, like, the success stories with, like, your Ned Longs and Sheldrick's been good, but then you got your Hardiman and Allen, so it's tough.
Yep.
Lindsay, just lastly, 31 and vested.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, see you later, mate.
yeah,
No.
farewell. He's been... well, has he been... No, he has...
No, he's been okay.
He's been okay. We can't say good, can
No.
we? What
that
are you
knee-
trading him for? Yeah, that week, because he was gone 100 that week.
5.79.
Okay. Nah, he's made you 250k.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And so, look, this game shits me, and this is where we want to I want to talk about just it's seriously blatant cheating
Yeah. Go
with
on.
these tags when blokes are running around with their arms around someone.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the umpires go, well, if I give this one, I'm going to give 20 free kicks.
Yeah.
Okay, give 20 free kicks.
Yeah.
Because if a forward, you know, or like if a defender, like as soon as the arm goes around the forward, like that is your cue for it's a free kick every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
So why is it when a midfielder
Keep going, mate. One second.
has a... Why is it when a midfielder... Oh, the cat's just causing mayhem as I'm mid-rant.
Keep going.
I reckon we can get a reel out of this. Hang on, just let me fire back up.
Sorry.
What was I talking
That
about?
had to be done. That had to be done.
Oh, I was talking about
You.
blatant cheating. Oh, yeah. So
Sorry, mate.
defenders, when you get the arm around. But, every stoppage,
Yeah.
his arms are around him. That
Yeah.
should be the cue
Yeah.
for free kick.
Yeah.
You can't be holding him
No.
before he has the ball.
Yeah, it's cooked.
So why are you allowed to do that?
There's four umpires on the field, mate.
I just don't understand. He should have had... And if it's getting called a free kick every time, then Ed can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just simple. But... So, I don't know. It's terrible umpiring.
Yeah.
It's shit from... Well, Ed Langdon... It's not Ed Langdon's fault. He got sent out there by Goody.
Yeah,
but, like, I just don't know. I didn't see Chincotta on Merritt. If Merritt just folded like a deck chair or...
Nah, Chincotta was doing a bit of the same
But
as well.
a bit of cheating.
They get the ball and they're already been tackled.
Yeah.
Like, it's a piss
It's
take.
arms around him.
And
I don't know.
Commentators
So,
like, yeah, like, it's been a real good tag. Like, real
no,
old
school.
school. It's like, well,
oh,
old
fuck me.
Well,
I'm
old
so
school,
glad
you could
you
literally
said
whack blokes like coward
Yeah,
punch.
let's
like,
fucking take it back to the 80s.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
That is exactly what the commentators say. Oh, it's a proper old school tag. What
Yeah.
the fuck does that even mean? That means that they're cheating.
Jason Dunstall said that, mate.
Dunst
Game-
has lost a
Yeah,
bit.
game's past
The
him.
bounce has fucking rubbed off on him a bit, I think, at this point. I look, and so look, I'm all for
greatest show in TV.
I'm all for blokes like, you know, tagging, like, because you shouldn't let Nick Dacos run around in his own, right?
no.
That's fair enough. But we don't want to see Chincotta and Ed Langdon come in and get 4 disposals
No.
and cheat.
No.
So I'll be sick if I see that again next week. This
No,
game shits
same.
me.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, mate. Mine's a little bit of a sook here from me, but
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm just looking for cash gen in all the wrong areas. I've not got the picks right at all with
Right.
with rookies. You got Buss, Hayes, Simpson, Boxall. You could claim, and now Hardiman. Just a genuine comedy of errors.
There's
Really-
been some bad luck in there. Hayes ACL.
Yeah.
Simpson did his shoulder.
Yeah, it's just like, and then you look this week, and the trades were to go to your Doherty and McKercher, Bergman was a
Yeah.
pick. Pretty much anyone really in that sort
it,
of range.
it was value hunting this week,
Yeah.
and it paid
'Cause
off
they-
almost everywhere.
They all went up like 30 to 50k.
Well, so I've kind of decided to go, let's try find it in the 700k areas with a guy I can kind of keep.
Yeah,
And make that,
No.
extra 200k.
absolutely
Instead
genius.
of fucking around with these rookies.
And I've fucked around and I've found out. Yeah, so this game shits me.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Trades.
Yep.
So early trades here. I'm looking at Jimmy Peatling so I've got Cooper Lord there, but come on, like that is not, no, I'll
that's
tell you
gotta
right
change,
now,
I think.
that's going to change. Well, because I also he doesn't even get on my ground this week.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be looking at, I might take a Butler, because I'll be fine in round 15.
Yeah.
I'm not going to need his score. So obviously it's taking a risk job security wise.
Yeah.
Because if I did Butler
And
and then he got dropped and I've
That'd be a
spent
risk.
400k for him, and I'm done in round 16, it would be a disaster.
Trying to think what else you could do.
I'll be watching for a forward rookie on Thursday.
Yeah.
For sure as well. And then, but Bice to Colby.
Keeler's a forward.
Yes. Oh.
320.
Yeah.
He might.
And he should stay in the team. Now,
he'll stay in the team, but will he? I mean,
he could be a walking 30.
It depends where he plays, because he played back a few weeks ago, and then he played forward the last game. So.
Yeah. No, Keeler could be the guy there.
Yeah.
And then Bice to Colby, who I think is a must-have, and Levi Ashcroft is just going to go to... It's his time to go, and it's easing up my round 16. I've got McRae in, hoping that, he gets named.
So
he
you
gets
have
named.
to go forward?
Yes, has to be a forward. So it'll be probably Blanket Jackson if McRae isn't named. But I'm hoping that McRae's back, and I'll do that. Get my boy back.
Yeah.
I think Jackson might have...
He might be all right.
Well, he played midfield in the last game. We saw him. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's risky, no doubt.
Anyway, I've got, Taranto's going down to Doherty, and then we're going Lindsay to Colby, and then we're going, at this stage, Hayes to Zach Johnson. But we might have to play around. We might go, what's his name from Port?
Wolverine.
Yeah, but it's job security. I can't. There's it
is so scary trading these rookies.
If I'm trading Hayes to a rookie, because that's leaving me like 260k right now if I go to Johnson.
Right.
So it has to be someone that keeps their job.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Because if it's not,
that's
I
why
may as well be trading. I may as well be trading Peatling.
I know. So that's why Keeler is probably the safest. I really want to go Butler, but if they get dropped, it is.
Maybe I almost just go Peatling to McRae. And then McCarthy comes in next week or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Thursday teams will have a bit to say about it as well.
There we go.
Just lastly, let's get into the mailbag. Hawker said, the coach has the full support of the board, always a good sign. Went up 1,000 spots with an 1899.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Despite my best efforts to sabotage it, if I ever VC see someone other than a ruck again, shoot me. That's actually probably a fair point. Like, did 2 rucks ever fail in the same week? Rarely.
That's a good shout.
Not if you got gone. Darcy Wilmot Stan said 1664. Ooh.
Yeah, not ideal.
Dunkley, Rankin,
That'll do.
Whitfield,
Yep.
Dacos.
Yep.
Why the fuck did I get Hardiman? Can you answer that one?
No, I can't. Because you're an idiot, mate, and so am I.
Yep. Murray's sub, of course he is Ken. Kako, lowest score of the year when I need him. At least my trades were good. Round rank of 50k, and it's season over, so I'm just piling into mid prices from here on.
Yep.
That sucked. That's fucked up, to be honest. This happens in the buys. Like, you can... It's pretty hard to... You can set your season up, right? But you can also fucking end your season in the buys. Like, it can go ugly. And let me tell you, in round 16, if there's a bit of carnage with injuries in the next couple of weeks...
It's over.
You're going to see something special from me.
Generational stinker.
Not in the good way. No. And I'm also wondering, if this bloke was ranked 50k for the round, what was Jezza ranked with his 1400?
Probably just behind him.
I can't believe that. Mr. T, 1925, and all I can say is thank God for Max fucking Holmes out of baby.
Yeah.
Dutchy, 1941, seemed like it could have been even better with a couple of strugglers.
Yep.
Rankin, Marich and Levi out, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Wang and some of that mid-price madness coming in. Yeah, Wang in. I think he's too I can't shop in those areas.
Wang is an absolute weapon. Him and Rosie are fighting it out for the old D1.
Yeah, no, very good. Thanks, Basil said. Let me know if you think I've improved my team through the buys with these ins.
Oh, yeah.
Clark, 42.58 after his first score.
He's a rookie.
Sam Berry, 66 and a 60.
That's a bad one.
Toby Green.
Oh, no.
62 and a 20.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets.
Hardiman, 33.
Yeah.
Kai Lohman,
Yeah.
51. And just lastly, the Bont, priced at 108 for a 91.
Yep. Yeah, mate.
That's all of 6.
Sounds like his trades were pretty much the same as mine this week, except he went Bont and I went Rosie. So
yeah, thank God he went Rosie.
Yeah, not ideal, mate.
Drew him
not
a
ideal,
shake.
Baz.
The West Aussie said, buying buy in. Okay, bring in Zorko and Whitfield first week of buys because I needed ceilings over the buys, and buys fucking outscored them. Lol. So many average premiums worth over $1 million. It's a fair point. There's some fucking stinkers
Yeah,
out
that's
there.
a good this game shits me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just lastly, Mark Leonard, legend, said, "Boys, what shits me is having to watch future games that don't involve your team." And didn't that summarise this weekend? After Saturday's trifecta of shit games, I suffered through West Coast v North, only to have the Eagles bench Graham the GOAT for the final 8 minutes. They got you 83, mate. You can't be upset.
They benched Graham the GOAT for the final 8 minutes. Is that why they lost?
Yeah, something in that.
Maybe.
Interesting. All right, it's getting late. Let's wrap that one up.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it was. Bit of
It was
a
good to.
far out. Impressive how long that was, considering it was only 6 games.
Yeah, no,
Oh, no.
there was 8. No, there was 8 games.
8 games.
No,
sorry,
there was
8
8 games.
8 games.
Fair bit to talk
Yeah,
about.
I was thinking this has been
No, it went on.
Yeah.
But no, look, it's been good fun.
No, it has.
As always, be sure to follow us on the socials
Yeah.
at Weekend Wash Up.
Yeah.
Catch us on the YouTube if you want to watch the pod. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right. Cheers, boys.
See you then, legends.
Bye.